Hi there everyone, it's Tuesday evening, the 29th of April 2013. Two areas we're keying in on today, actually three. One moving across northern Japan, that is actually pumping in some warmer air. Everybody out here for the Golden Week holidays, enjoying some fair weather. Off towards the north, we are going to see some rain showers, even a spotty shower across the Kanto region possible as is us continue to push overhead. Really the bulk of the shower is going to come in later in the week though. Here on Monday going into Tuesday, this area is forming up along with an upper level trough, already bringing widespread rain showers across southeastern China. As shown from the latest radar imagery here actually along the Yangtze River Basin, you very well could see the flooding potential as this front does continue to kick up, and even the threat of some strong thunderstorms down there towards the south in Fujian and Guangdong province due to that warm air continuing to surge in from the south. A little interaction with this cool air that's coming in from the north, well, that is going to spark off a few of these thunderstorms to flare up here right into that convection zone, or what we call the battle zone there in between those two air masses. But like I said, that's going to continue to shift off here through to the east, going through your Tuesday, the date down here in the bottom left. As you see, it does push off there. Around Okinawa and southern Kyushu, that's where the heaviest rain is going to be. We actually saw some landslides last week in this region, so definitely the threat's going to continue to linger there. Also some heavy rainfall there for you in northern Taiwan, and even around Taipei as well. That's going to continue to push off there. So throughout the day on Tuesday, some heavy rainfall. Spotty showers by Wednesday morning across the Kanto region, including Tokyo, before that low does continue to push off there towards the east. Another thing that this low is playing in on is the tropics. Now behind it, you're going to see some cooler air spill in, but see this whole frontal area that's kind of stretching off of this down there towards the southwest? Well, what this is doing, though, it is going to have an effect on the other area I want to talk about, and that is this one right here. Because if that stretches down far enough, that will lift whatever develops possibly out of this area off towards the north. If it does not, it's going to move here towards the west. Earlier model runs today here on Tuesday indicated going towards the west. Now, not really much indicating of this forming. Last week we saw it going towards the north due to that trough digging in and picking it up. But also granted, this is Tuesday when I'm making this Tuesday evening. That is, the next several days will show a lot more detail on this, because this is actually looking at Sunday of next week. GFS model right here, very weak. NavGem showing a tropical storm just towards the east of the Philippines. One thing we have noticed though is that day in and day out, both of these models have been consistent at something forming, and that is coming out of this area here just towards the southeast of Guam. Actually in a very similar formation zone that we saw BOFA form in. Now I'm not saying this is going to be no typhoon BOFA, I'm just saying that is the same origin, and you can have storms form here even though it is south of 10 degrees north. There is still the possibility, and also very high vertical wind shear a little bit farther north. It has to stay there towards the south if it does want to form up. And plus, at this time, it really can't go much farther towards the north as we take a look at the streamline analysis, that West Pac high dominating right here, that positive vorticity right here. It would likely move straight towards the west here, just clipping the Philippines before bending towards the north. It depends on where it would bend, though. Like I said, with that trough coming through, it would either pick it up here or pick it up over here. One or the other, definitely, I do think there is the risk of tropical development. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this as it does progress through the coming days. Right now, vertical wind shear, well, relatively weak under this area, but like I said, a little bit farther towards the north with that West Pac eye. The shear is much, much higher, as we can see here. Actually, this is indicating into the greens and the yellows, upwards of 30 to 40 knots of shear. Down here, less than 5 in the red, and this is where we likely would see that formation coming out. If we take a look at the MSL, you can actually see all of that precipitation starting to form up here. And taking a look at the winds, there's even, according to the European model, a high resolution model, which I really like to use, some sort of elongated cyclonic formation here going through Tuesday. As we look out into Wednesday, your model actually has it starting to fall apart. Some of the other ones still keep it together. So I guess with that said, there's a lot up in the air right now, and I know we're going to continue to keep an eye on. As far as JTWC, they have nothing on this right now. They do have an area for high potential of development towards the northeast of Queensland. Check out our friends at Cyclone Chasers for more information on this. But from the information I have right now, I can say that there is a fairly likely chance of development out of this. MSL picking up on it. Wind shear is relatively low. There's absolutely ample amount of moisture here, even around the Coral Sea. Temperatures are heating up there. This is looking out towards Tuesday, going into Wednesday. If we take a look at the wind speed, there is the continued risk of this spinning up, and you can actually see some of these winds kicking up the tropical storm strength on the base of this, towards the south of it. A little bit of drier inflow towards the north will keep those winds light. Fairly disorganized, I would say, but there is still the risk of this continuing to develop. Actually, let's take a look at the relative humidity. You can see that drier inflow, but moisture inflow coming in from the east is going to make for some rains around Cairns by midweek if this does continue on this. Let's actually compare this up with GFS for the same time while we have it open. Very similar conditions, all those heavy rains right near the coastlines. Taking a look at the winds, GFS, a little less of a resolution, but they still show those winds picking up there. So tropical storm strength, at least from what I see, quite likely. Let's take a look what the Bureau of Meteorology is showing at this time. And they show actually going into Wednesday, very similar conditions as those models were just indicating. So anybody here, actually, it's well north of Cairns where you are seeing those tropical cyclone gale watches in effect. And definitely there's a risk of some flooding right near the coastlines here. So we're going to continue to watch this one as well. I know that our friends at Cyclone Chasers will put out a new video later on. We're also thinking about putting out another one by early tomorrow morning. So just stay tuned here at Western Pacific Weather as well. But that is all right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them down in the comment box below. Also, don't forget to go check out Clark's West Pac series Typhoon here, basically putting out some basic tropical cyclone facts. He's been doing that over the next several weeks. So just stay tuned for that. Always a lot of stuff to go check out here at the website. Also thinking about putting up a chat room if anyone is thinking about that. And that's all, really. Have a great day. Bye.